All right, guys. So we have some interesting news to share with you here. Some of the guys from January 6th just went down. So Axios says, Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes found guilty of seditious conspiracy. So the specifics are the following. A jury on Tuesday found Stuart Rhodes, the founder of the far-right militia group Oath Keepers, guilty of seditious conspiracy for actions in the lead up to and day of the January 6th Capitol riot, AP reports. Rhodes, a prominent figure within far-right American politics, faces a maximum of 20 years in prison from the conviction, though the jury also found him guilty on other charges. The seditious conspiracy verdict against Rhodes is one of the most significant results arising from the Department of Justice's vast investigation into the January 6th riot. Seditious conspiracy, a rarely used Civil War-era law, is committed when two or more people in the U.S. conspire to overthrow, destroy, seize the property of, or levy war against the U.S. government, or to prevent the execution of any U.S. law. One of Rhodes' anti-government associates, Kelly Meggs, the jury also found one of Rhodes' anti-government associates, Kelly Meggs, guilty of seditious conspiracy and other felonies. Defendants Jessica Watkins, Kenneth Harrelson, and Thomas Caldwell were found not guilty of seditious conspiracy, but guilty of other felonies. The jury, after deliberating for around 3 days, found all defendants guilty of obstruction of an official proceeding of Congress, while Meggs and Watkins were also found guilty of conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding of Congress. Rhodes, Meggs, Harrelson, and Watkins also received guilty verdicts for conspiracy to prevent members of Congress from discharging their duties. So here's what they're saying. Quote, it's a mixed bag. There are good results and bad results mixed together. Ed Tarple, that's Rhodes' defense attorney, said outside the courthouse on Tuesday. We're grateful for the not guilty verdicts that were received. We're disappointed in the guilty verdicts, Tarple added. Tarple said they plan to appeal the verdicts against Rhodes. My guess is these verdicts are going to be upheld, guys. I don't see any way out of it for these guys. Federal prosecutors attempted to show through encrypted messages, recordings, and surveillance video that Rhodes had organized and conspired with his associates to oppose the transfer of presidential power and overturn Biden's victory. So I'm going to show you that in a second. It's really not open for debate, if you ask me. In the indictment against the defendants, the Department of Justice alleged that Rhodes and the others traveled to Washington, D.C. in the days before January 6th, where they armed themselves with firearms and tactical gear and were prepared to take up arms to stop the peaceful transfer of power. Lawyers for Rhodes had argued he and other Oath Keepers members traveled to and organized in D.C. in anticipation that then President Trump would use powers under the Insurrection Act to form a militia and wanted to protect his supporters. So in other words, hey, we thought the president was going to do something illegal, so we wanted to help him do his illegal thing. That's not the defense you think it is, dog. On the witness stand, Rhodes said the group did not prepare for or intend to storm the Capitol, but prosecutors argued the defendants weren't accused of moving to storm the Capitol, but were instead indicted for agreeing to stop Congress's certification of the presidential election by force. The verdict may serve as a preview for the upcoming trial against Proud Boys leader Henry Enrique Tarrio and other members who were also charged with seditious conspiracy for their actions around and on the day of the riot. Some members of the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers involved in the riot have already pleaded guilty to seditious conspiracy charges, while hundreds of other people have pled guilty or were convicted of other charges stemming from January 6th. So yeah, hundreds of people have already gone down over this. So here you have an instance of the law actually being upheld. Now, I'm not surprised by that for the simple reason that ultimately in DC, they are institutionalists. And any sort of threat to the institutions from the left or the right, they're going to drop the hammer on you, dog. And that's exactly what happened in this instance. Now, for this guy in particular, the idea he even tried to mount a defense is kind of ludicrous, okay? Because here he is on January 4th, 2021, so right before everything went downski, and here's what he said.
What we're doing is we have men already stationed outside D.C. as a nuclear option in case they attempt to remove the president illegally. We will step in and stop it. And we're going to be there to also help secure the coming rally this Saturday and your caravan coming in. So I've got good men on the ground already. We've did a leaders recon there last week, and we're sorting out where we're going to be staging, and we'll be there. We'll be inside D.C. We'll also be on the outside of D.C. armed, prepared to go in if the president calls us out. What we're doing is...
I mean, you could have just went into court, played that one video, and it would have been game, set, match. He's admitting it. He's saying if they try to get Trump out of office, and he says they're doing that illegally. Of course, that's not illegal. What's illegal is what you're doing. If they try to do the transfer of power, we're going to try to stop it. In no uncertain terms, that's what he's saying. And so he fucked around and he found out. There are fucking consequences for that shit, man. And look, it's good. It's good that he's going down. It's good that the people who committed crimes on that day are going down. You know, if there were people who were at January 6th, but they didn't actually commit any crimes, so in other words, if there were people there that didn't storm the Capitol and they were just outside and they were peacefully protesting, those people shouldn't go down and didn't go down. But it's the people who actually committed crimes. It's the people who stormed the Capitol, blocked the proceedings, broke the windows, attacked the officers. It's the people with messages that were like, hey, let's commit crimes on this day. Let's block the transfer of power. Those people are the ones who went down. And that is a good thing. That is a good thing. So, justice, at least in this case, and I don't think this bodes well for Enrique Tarrio, but I guess it all comes down to the specifics of what happened. Like, if they have the communications, if they have him saying similar things, and they probably do, then TikTok, he's going down. Now, remember, there's a giant wild card in this whole conversation, though, because Donald Trump has said, like, if I get elected, maybe I'll pardon these guys. Maybe I'll pardon these guys. Okay, well, you're giving the American people a choice, and they will determine whether or not to vote for Trump, given all the facts about Trump and his comments like that. I'm telling you, he has self-radicalized at an amazing rate since he's been out of office. And now he's at the point where he just retweets or retruths QAnon shit all day, every day. The storm is coming on nonsense like that. Good luck trying to convince Normie America in that situation. And good luck snuggling up to the eye patch man who committed sedition. I'm sure that's going to bode well for you politically. All right, guys, that's the show. I love you very much. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Hey, remember, there are live shows that I will be doing. December 6th, New York City. Go get tickets, man. Go get tickets. Go get tickets. Breaking Point's live show, December 6th, New York City. Check it out. I'll be there. Chris will be there. Sagar will be there. Let's make a big showing for the Secular Talk audience. I like it. I'd like it if the audience was packed with Secular Talk people and they outnumber the Breaking Points people. And then when I say anything, I could go on stage and fart, and you guys would be like, yeah, hooray for farting. Yeah, Kyle, we're on your side. Team your farts. So, anyway, definitely show up to that. I really appreciate that, guys. New York one day, Boston another day. Grab tickets. And thanks everybody for watching. Of course, you can subscribe to the channel below and click that little bell notification thingy so you know every time a video drops. Trying to get to 1 million subs. You guys have made it so the channel is growing for the first time in a while, which is wonderful. So keep subbing, keep getting me there. If everybody who watches the channel subbed, we'd already be at 1 million subscribers. So hook a brother up on that front. And of course, as always, a massive shout out and a massive thank you to everybody who supports this show on Patreon. You guys make this show work. You can, if you want to support the show, that link is in the video description box as well. You just click it, pay $2 a month or $5 a month or whatever. Consider it a tip if you like the show. Love you guys to death. And of course, thank you to everybody who supports Crystal Kyle and Friends as well. By the way, this week on the show, Crystal Kyle and Friends, we have Jonah Furman, who's a labor expert. And he's going to talk about the rail deal that Biden is trying to force on the rail workers and how basically Biden's screwing them and how fucked up this is because all they're asking for is some paid time off. And Biden is trying to force them back to work without the paid time off. He negotiated some shitty deal for them, temporarily averted the rail strike. Now the union slapped down the deal, but Biden's like, we'll just go through Congress and sort of force you to go back to work. That's some Reagan shit, right? Like that's some fucking neoliberal horse crap. That's an anti-worker move. And so we're going to talk about that with Jonah Furman. You'll get all the specifics of the deal that's being forced on them and what they're asking for and things of that nature and what's going to happen from here. So definitely check that out. And that's all I got for you. Again, if you guys want to listen to the show on the podcast outlets, go right ahead. It's up on Spotify. It's up on Google Podcasts, up on iHeartRadio. It's up on a bunch of them. So definitely check that out. All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.